My name's Simon Davidson. I'm from the Cheese Factory in Chesterfield Town Centre. You probably know of us, I hope you do, but I've come this evening to do a little cheese demonstration. Well, I'm sorry to say I'm one of those people who's a bit can't cook, won't cook, so this is very simple, more for the sort of idiot's guide really, just show you that cheese can be simple to use, whether it's cold or warm or whatever. So let's have a bit of fun and let's do some cheese tasting and cheese demonstrating for you. So what I'd like to do first of all is do you a nice blue cheese dip. We always have it for a starter at our house when we're waiting for the main course to come and that, to have a little dip. So what we're going to do, we're going to get some nice blue Stilton. This is from the Hartington Creamery, just up the road. And so we're just going to cut a little bit off. You'll need a small bit, you know, about 5 ounces, 6 ounces, something like that. Put that back there. Just chop it into smaller little pieces. And you need we don't need a blender. You can always use just a fork, something like that, just to mix it up, to soften it and that. But a blender is great if you've got one. So all you need to do, put them in little chunks, smaller chunks. You don't want a big chunk like that. It would take quite a bit to actually chop it up. Put the lid back on, and then we'll just give it a nice little blitz. See, not too much. That's the blue Stilton been blitzed nicely. That. If we take the top off, I just want some natural yoghurt. That's a nice thing to do. It's thin enough to put in. You can put some thicker cream if you want in, but natural yoghurt's the best thing to use. And you need to put about a lot of equal amounts of yoghurt and your blue Stilton. And we'll give it a little blitz. Give it a nice little flavour this. That blue cheese, nice colour to it as well. How's that going? Now we need a little bit more. What I'm going to do is just tease it along a bit at the bottom there. Well, that's coming through nice, that. It's up to you how thick you want it. We usually have it sort of a little bit lumpy. Then you need a nice little bowl to put it in. Just leave that in there and then just pour it through. Get that. How does that look? I think it looks amazing, that. I'm already dribbling already. Let's put that down there. That's the way. Just get a bit of kitchen towel just to wipe my hands. So they are. What do you think to that then? That looks lovely, that. So things like the blue dip, cheese dip, you can use different cheeses. You can gorgonzola, that's a great one. It needs a little bit sharp, and you can use the creamier ones, softer ones. You tend to find the younger kids like those. I know all kids always say, oh, I don't want any blue cheese, and my dad loved blue cheese, it stinks. It smells. But no, I think, you know, you can use a softer, milder blue cheese. You can even use things like Cambozola, Montagnola, it's a German soft blue cheese. They're great. But yeah, blue Stilton, Gorgonzola, something a bit more bite to it. Because with you putting it with the cream cheese, with the yoghurt and that, it does actually smooth it out, make it not quite as harsh. And then all you need then is some just accompaniments for it. You've got some, I like carrots with it. They're nice as a dip. Oh yeah, that is nice. If you want a little bit more heat to it, you could put a little bit of pepper in it. A number of things you can do with it. The thing with this is that you can do what you want with it, really. A lot of people like chilies, don't they? Put some chilies in there. There's all sorts of things to do. Great with celery, of course. And nachos. Our favourite, nachos. So that's your blue cheese dip. So Simon with the Can't Cook Won't Cook is going to show you how to do some grilled goat's cheese. This is simple, this is, and a great little starter, because if you're having a party or something like that, it really doesn't take long to do at all. So you can, you're not spending time in the kitchen, you can with your guests and that, at least with them, because all it does is just you need grilling with it. So what I've done so far, I've got, when I find them, here we are, is that I've already part toasted some of the a French stick. I cut it up. If you've got something a little more of a baguette, something like that, is that you can cut them a little bit, slice them better than that. But I've got a baguette, a French stick, cut it in half down the middle, cut the end so it makes it a little bit wider, so the cheese can actually sit on top. So all you need to do, get some nice goat's log. People are a bit funny about goat's cheese, goat's milk, stuff like that. People think, oh, it's horrible. It's looking really goaty, really smelly, really earthy, very dirty sort of taste, smell to it. But yeah, but not all goat's cheese are like that. You've got some great goat's cheese out, especially the French goat's log. It's mild, it's nice and creamy, and it's very good for you as well, is because of the actual makeup of the goat's milk and sheep's milk. It's a lot easier for people to digest. So people who've got digestion problems or are elderly and stuff like that, it's a lot easier for them. It's not going to lie so heavy at night with them, because they'll be able to digest it easier. And of course, people have allergies as well, is that they can have goat cheese. So all you need to do is basically just place it on top. There we are. Just give your hands a little wipe. And then in this oven that's already been warmed up, it only needs to be about 150, 160, like that. You don't need to give it too great a... And I'm going to take them off this to put in there like that. Just turn it up just a little bit, just to know how it's going. Look at that going. Anyway, at least one thing, we ain't got the cat here tonight so far. It was, I think we've seen the other ones, they've had the cuisine cooking demonstrations, but yeah, the cat's not around tonight. But I do have a little story about that, is that when the Edge Events were organising their event in the Queen's Park, the Chesterfield Food and Drink Festival, is that Laura, she was, in fact, we've not got a cat, we've got a wasp now, is that Laura was helping me doing a cheese talk, doing demonstration I was, just talking about the history of the shop and stuff like that. And we're giving some tastings out to people. So anyway, Laura was, she was the most, she was fantastic. So she was going around giving the samples out to the people. So she went out into the audience, giving it around, and I was talking away. Then all of a sudden there's a load of commotion over the far side near where Laura was. And I thought, that's a bit bad, that, Laura, not very professional, that messing around and doing that, trying to put me off. Anyway, she came back, she said, dog's just attacked me. I said, you what? And I looked down, and the winking trousers are ripped at the bottom. She'd gone past this person, and the dog had got hold of her leg, and winking tore her winking jeans and that. So yeah, so anyway, hope that winking cat's not a killer cat like the dog was. Anyway, we'll just check on the, oh yes, they're starting to go a little bit now. I don't like using grills because I always burn stuff, because I'm always talking, always doing something else, finding something else to do in the meantime. So, so what I'm going to talk about after this, when this has come through, we're going to talk about making a cheese board up, sort of things we can put on a cheese board, what nice accompaniments go with it. You know, we've got some nice chutneys and stuff like that. Yeah, so we're going to look at that. Just want this goat's cheese to come out. Just needs, when it starts to melt a bit, starts to bubble a bit. These are probably a little bit thick, but you don't want them too much, because you don't want to, with it being only a starter, you don't want to be feeding everyone up too much. But what I like to do, I like to drizzle some honey over it. This is local honey, made in Hasland. Again, honey, great for people with allergies as well. But the only thing, the trick on it is that if you've got an allergy, hay fever or whatever, you really do need to take it all year round. And that's not just a sales gimmick, but you can probably imagine is that the actual flora that's in the actual honey is that you need to get in your system throughout the year to get immunity to it. Right, we're nearly there. They're nearly coming. Well, at least one thing, at least I managed to turn the oven on this time, not like Richard did on the first one. So cheeses, what cheeses have we got? We've got a fine selection, as you can probably see. I mean, one of the things with making a cheese board, you need to make it interesting. You know, you've got different flavours and stuff like that, but you need to, colours need to come in there, shapes with it. I mean, a lot of the cheese are in half moons anyway, just the way they're made usually in a truckle, in a circle type thing. It's just easier for them to make it that way with it. And you know, you get block cheese as well. But traditionally, the cheeses are in a circle, like your blue Stilton and stuff like that. But yeah, so you need to look at something different colours. Like you got some greens here. You got the red port one. You got the gin lemon. I must admit that's you know, you've got lemon inside, so you can see a little flecks of lemon. But the wax on the outside is just a bit of a thing to make it look a little bit more premium product, make it look a bit, stand out a little bit, and that's what you want really, especially if you've got dinner guests. And of course you've got things like your charcoal cheese. That's a very unusual thing. They do use charcoal there, so it's cheddar and charcoal. And again, it's really, really nice. I must admit the charcoal's a bit of a gimmick, but it does taste nice. They've got a nice mature cheddar in there, because the way they make it, they actually chop it up to mill it around with the cheddar, and then they chop the charcoal up, then mix the two together. So of course when they're chopping it up, they are actually smoothing it out a bit, so it's not gritty or anything like that at all. With the cheese, it makes it a softer texture. Yeah, that's it. I think they're about done. Those they came out lovely then. Oh, that smells lovely. That. See if I can not burn my fingers now. Have we got first aid on hand, have we? Ooh, ow. There we are. I'll turn that off, save electric. Yes, it does, doesn't it? Look at that, how it's just started to brown on top there. I think that's lovely. Now that's just not one portion. Maybe for some of you, I was thinking more about just one piece of the goats. Just one of those portions there will be just for one person, would normally. But on top of this, you can put things like some chopped nuts on there. There's all sorts of things you can put on there. I mean, even just some nice oil, some nice flavoured oil on there would be nice. But I quite like, you know, sweet and savoury, I do. And just something like, just drizzling some nice honey over it, I think makes it really, really nice, that. Yeah, that's lovely, that. Fantastic. There we are. Let's just clear this up here as well. We've finished with that. So this goat's log normally comes in a log shape. It's not a bad price actually as well. I think it's about £12 a kilo for something like goat's milk, because the thing with goat and sheep and that, you say, oh, why is that so expensive? But of course, they're a lot smaller. They don't produce as much milk as something like a cow. So that's the reason why they do. And there's not so many sheep and goats around as cows with it. So we'll put that on the back. Just put that on Richard's floor. He'll not mind. So then, cheese board. I mean, a lot of these things, cheese boards, you can do like an English cheese board, continental cheese board. You can do a spicy cheese board, mild cheese board. It all depends what you want, you know what I mean? What the family wants, what you like and your partner or a group of people. But if you're doing a big group of people, you want a nice selection. So you would normally go with something like a soft cheese, like a brie, a blue cheese, like a blue Stilton, gorgonzola, montagnola, all things like that. And then you need to go for a spicy one. You can just, I mean, say spicy, they don't have to be like chili. When I say spicy, you can do things like, in our shop we have Wald's Gold, and that's a horseradish and mustard, a double Gloucester cheese, and that's nice. And again, another thing great with that, it's nice to toast as well. So just like we've done there, nice bit like a Welsh rabbit with it. So then you can go for your fruity ones. I mean, there's loads of there. I mean, we like to say here we've got the apricot cheese, but you've got cranberries, all sorts of ones like that with it. Mango and ginger. They're never ending with it. And I always, when I do a cheese board, I always try and do something like something that's going to shock people. So you know, in our shop we usually have something a little bit different. Like we have sticky toffee cheddar. That's cheddar with toffee. Which is great. People that say, no, you can't have toffee in cheese. Well, yeah, well, it's great, you know what I mean? And it does work. I tell you, 90% of people turn around and say, yeah, that's great, that's fantastic. We just finished having, about a month ago, we had some chocolate chip mint cheese, and it is proper white Stilton cheese with choc chips and mint in it, and it's a green sort of luminous colour as well. I'd love to have brought that because that would look great on the cheese board. Right, so if we start making a cheese board, so is it, you need a good knife. I mean, this is a fantastic knife, this for chopping cheese up and that. I just did it today, very sharp. It's called a rocker knife. It's what traditionally they cut Goudas with in the big massive wheels of Gouda, and that's what they cut up with. If you go to Holland and that, to Amsterdam, you'll see them cutting using this. It is a bit lethal, I have to be a bit careful with it. It is sharp with it. So what I would normally do, we normally start, like a lot of cheese boards, we start with the basics and then work up to it. So you want to get a nice piece of blue Stilton. Cut it down. There we are. And traditionally is that cheese knives have got holes in them. I mean, that's similar. I mean, usually they have more holes than that, a bit bigger and stuff like that. But they have the holes in them, the cheese knives. They're traditional. Is because there's not so much surface area on there that actually grips onto the cheese. So like with that, it just seems to hang on to it a little bit, and then we end up it breaking a bit, but it doesn't matter. I think it looks a bit more rustic like that, doesn't it? We just need to keep the knife a little bit clean. We don't want that going on to other cheeses. So if you've got some people who don't like blue cheese, they're not going to sort of say, I don't like blue cheese. That's got blue cheese all over it. Anyway, at the shop during the lockdown, it was a bit of a shock for us really. When Boris told us that was it, we thought, well, that was it. We're going to be locked down, but no. I was lucky that we managed to stay open. It's been very, very hard during the lockdown. We sort of fell off a cliff the first day after the announcement, but we managed to climb back up there and managed to get people back into the town centre using some of the local shops. I mean, that's what we need now. We need people shopping local. I think people have learnt that now through this lockdown. That a couple of things really is that you can get better quality produce from your local retailer. So yeah, so it's probably a good thing. I think people have learnt a lot of things. So yeah, get your basics. Got your blue Stilton. Got some nice French brie. They do some lovely English bries. I'm sorry to say we did sell some Somerset brie, but we had for a couple of months a bit of a quality issue, and I can't really. I don't like, you know, having problems with cheeses over a couple of months. Otherwise, I think just lose your customers who think that, you know, that's it then. If you have a bad experience with some cheese, that's it. I'm not going to go there again because it was awful, that was. So we did have to look elsewhere. So we have now got some of this French cheese. There we are. So that's the French brie. So that's the sort of two basic cheeses that you would normally put in there. Like I said, if you're then trying to build on top of that, I mean, Red Leicester. This is a Red Fox Red Leicester. This is absolutely fantastic. It's amazing the amount of people say to me, I had some of that Red Fox Red Leicester and it just tastes divine. It was actually specially by Belton Farm, it was actually specially developed over about 3 years to do a Red Leicester, but a slightly matured, slightly gritty. The grittiness in it, it's not glass or anything like that. It's actually this salt of calcium that's starting to reform. So they developed this, and I think they've got a real winner. They do a Red Fox and they do a White Fox, and when you taste it, you'll say to yourself, "Gosh, it really does taste Really nice that. Just got that red Leicester twang, but more of a flavouring to it. I should have probably bought a few more knives actually, but I'm sure you're just waiting for me to cut myself on this knife, I bet, but not tonight, hopefully. So yes, so that's the Red Fox, Red Leicester. So just need a chunk, and they're better in a triangle. I mean, 'cause like I said before, a lot of the cheeses are in half moons, so it does fit in better like that with it. Of course, we're going to have some nice mature cheddar. This is actually a lovely, and I know this is a block, and people sort of think, oh no, block cheese, no good. This is a vintage Isle of Man cheddar, and it's absolutely fantastic. Really nice. Again, it's got that grittiness there, sweet nutty flavour to it. Got a real nice lingering flavour there in your mouth. And I always try and just cut it slight at an angle there. Just makes it so it doesn't look so much like a block. Makes it look a little better, doesn't it, really? Makes a nice little wedge there. But you could really sink your linking knife into that. And then they need a bit more colour. We've got the red there. Should we go for some Derby sage? So these are all quite plain cheeses, these. I don't want to get anything too... so more of a sort of a family one. But of course, the thing is though, I know it's our house, is that we all have our own favourites. So whenever I says, come on, have a cheese board tonight, and they'll say, yeah, Dad, bring us home this, bring us home that. Libby normally has the smoked Lancashire. Jessica normally has, she normally has some Comte cheese. Leanne likes the Montagnola, and Cooper likes the vintage mature cheddar. So everyone's different, aren't they, what they like? So we get those. But it's amazing how many times is that, you know, you can see them going, they're not just their cheese, they do try something else. And at Christmas time, we always tend to find that people, is that they order a cheese board and they always come back after and say, you know, so we had about 10 cheeses, and it's amazing, is it? Because I don't like that cheese, I don't like that Derby sage, but I tried it and God, it's really nice, isn't it? I don't know if it's just the drink there that's done it, I don't know. And I forgot something as well, I forgot my beer. What am I like? I thought I'd better bring one. So this is Brampton Best, just down the road here. Thank you very much, Brampton Brewery. Oh, that's very nice, that. Beer and cheese, I think that was better than beer and wine, but my partner Leanne wouldn't say that, I'm sorry to say. Yeah. Yeah, Richard's chuckling away. I think someone else will like that as well. Let's give this a quick wipe now. I'm using all the soft cheeses and stuff like that, all the messy cheese I think's been going on here. Right, so I think probably one more cheese. So I think you've got like your blue cheese, you've got your mature cheddar, you've got your red Leicester, your brie, your sage. So I think probably a fruity cheese will be nice. I think that'll go well. If you go to a good cheesemonger, it's great there to be able to just sit there, well, stand there, and just look at the cheeses. If you're not sure about something, I mean, things are a little bit different at the moment. We're not actually giving tastings out at our shop at the moment because of the risks of passing things on and stuff like that. But I'm sure that sometime we'll have tasting coming back. We always used to have a little saying, don't quibble, ask for a nibble. So, which I think is a great thing, is that, you know, if someone comes in somewhere not sure about something, I'd rather someone have a little taste of it and try it, rather than take, you know, quarter of a pound, half a pound, take it home, not like it, and throw it in the bin. So, yeah, we do try and keep people happy. I think people like coming and having a little taste anyway. That's a bit stingy, wasn't it, Simon, eh? So that's just a simple cheese board, that, I think. Just something there, you know, for an evening. You know, you can either have it as just a main meal or just have it after you've had a meal. It's great, just something simple there. And something to go with it. I mean, just some simple biscuits. And there's some great biscuits around there. We've really struggled at the shop to try and find any biscuits, any nice biscuits that the right price. And you know, these charcoal biscuits, stuff like that, they're great, but they're so expensive. And you know, in a packet you'll only get about 6, and someone like me, that's soon gone, them 6 biscuits. So yeah, so I normally have you know, just cream crackers is great. I'm sorry to say, but probably Lidl do some very nice ones. I know that Leanne usually gets some from there. But yes, just some nice biscuits on there. Some nice chutney. We've got my favourite is some chili jam. That is absolutely divine. It's not over powerful, even though it's got nice sweetness again. Sweet and savoury, I think, go so well together. So that's great to go on there. Another great one is the chutney for cheese. That's a bit like a ploughman's pickle. But yeah, that's great. That is. We sell loads of that at our shop. And of course, you always need some tomatoes, some grapes on there. They go great. And of course, we have got, where's my other bowl gone? Yeah. I mean, even just things like, you know, a bit of celery as well. Great bit of salt on there. I shouldn't say that, but yeah, great on with that. So that's just a simple sort of cheese board with that. But then, if you want to go something a little bit more, let's just move these over here. So if you want to go something a little bit more extravagant, so everyone's different what they like. I mean, there's a lot of farmhouse cheddar cheeses. I'm not a great lover of the farmhouse cheddar. They're a bit too earthy for me. But the thing is, though, is that different farmhouse cheddars are made differently. Is that the flavours are there? Is that you get some with a heavy rind on? So if you ever go to if you don't like the sort of earthy sort of flavour, farm sort of flavour of some of the farmhouse cheddars, or some of the cheeses you get, try and pick a cheese that's not got so much of a rind on. You can probably see that's got a real good heavy rind to that. That's what it's been matured. I mean, this one's matured in the caves down in Cheddar Gorge, this one. So that gives it a real nice characteristic. It's quite a heavy rind on there. And that gives it a real earthy flavour, because of course what's on there is going into the cheese. It's getting that flavour is really penetrating in there. So that's why some of the cheeses, you get wash rind cheeses in, some alcohol and stuff like that. You know, again, that's where it's, you know, going into the cheese. So for sort of a nice, good strong cheese board, something a little bit different. So you've got some farmhouse cheddar. But some of the farmhouse cheddars, they actually still the same age, but they don't have a rind on, or they usually have a cloth on. They usually take those off so it doesn't penetrate too much actually into the cheese. There we are. Let's look at that. That's a lovely piece of farmhouse cheddar. In fact, I'm going to have a little taste of that. Now this has been wrapped in muslin. You can see where some of the muslin's been. You get a little, that'll probably come blue after a while. That doesn't matter, that's natural bluing. Some people, that's what they look for in cheese, is that natural bluing in there. And that's the characteristics of a good quality cheddar. Oh, that's not too strong to say. It's not a real strong, powerful, but power comes through later. So that's your farmhouse cheddar. So one of my favourite cheeses, which whenever I go anywhere, and I do any cheese talks, whatever, I always take Comte, French Comte, from the Comte region. Basically, it's between Switzerland and France. It's made up high in the mountains there. So they make them high up in the mountain, the hills, and then they're brought down, the farmers bring them down, and then they're actually matured in big, massive, well, they actually call them forts. So the big massive buildings where they mature all the cheeses, all the farmers and stuff like that. And they go out like a cooperative, they sell them out from there. So they've all got a mark to say that they qualified to be Comte. So a nice bit of, oh yes. It's been out that for a little while, and it's just nice, like room temperature. Well, not room, air temperature has been outside. And then we'll try some of the cheddar and caramelised onion. That is a real winner. Caramelised onion and Rioja red wine. That is absolutely a fantastic cheese. Goes really well. Is the first time I tasted this. We've had caramelised onion cheese for many years, and it's always been, oh, it's not quite right. That it's not got that kick, that sort of sweetness of onion and that caramelised flavour. And I tasted this, and that are it. So now I have to buy direct from the people who make it, Cheshire Cheese Company. So that's a real winner, that one. And then instead of using the blue Stilton this time, we'll use this. This is Stilton chili bomb. Yeah, I can see some people now thinking, yeah, that's up my street, that. So this is made specially for us. Is that up in Lancashire, they basically get some Stilton cheese, blue Stilton cheese, chop it up again, and then they mush it up, and then they put some chili oil inside, mix it up a bit more, and then they repress it, and then they put chili seeds around the outside. It's not really strong. It's got a good kick to it, but it's got, they real blend well together. The blue cheese and the chilies go really well together. And it's great on burgers, great to cook with. A lot of people say to me, I've had it on burgers, that it really melts really nice. Again, on toast. I think there's a theme here, cheese on toast. We saw loads of this at Christmas. There we are. So that's... and then for some of you ladies, how about a bit of gin and lemon cheese? Again, made by Cheshire Cheese Company over in Cheshire. Is that this is a winner. They brought it out just as a limited edition, but that was 3 years ago and it's still going strong. We're always buying it, getting it in. Get them to make us some. They normally do it in little truckles, but I tend to find we struggle with selling those in Chesterfield. So I always get them to make me some cutting ones so we can cut them up. A bit more economical, not so expensive for people. And more to the point is they can have as little or as much as they want with it. So this is gin and lemon. So you can see the lemon flecks in there that gives it the flavour, the lemon flavour. The gin's in there as well, but it's got a subtle gin flavour. It's not kicked straight away because it is it's gin they put in there, not an essence or something like that. It's more after you get that taste of the gin that lasts in your mouth that you get. That I think a lot of people, that's what they sort of savour. So we've got to try some of the charcoal cheddar, eh? Good if you want to get black teeth, this. So charcoal cheddar, like I said before, it's real nice, nice mature cheddar in there. Look at that, it's like people keep coming to our shop and say, is that black pudding? I said, no, it's cheese, honestly, we're a cheese shop, not a butcher, mate. So that goes on there. But you see how I'm trying to mix the colours around a little bit more, just try and make it a little bit more interesting for what's on there. But it does give you slightly black hands. That's the charcoal. And I think really something for people is the Highland herb. That's cheddar with garlic and herbs. We used to do mushroom and garlic, but they stopped making that. I don't know why. We sell loads of it, but nationally I think the companies didn't do very well, so we had to look for something else. I know it's not mushroom, it's not the same sort of thing, but it's going really well, this. Nice on a cheese board. It's amazing the amount of people that like garlic. I'm not a great lover of garlic, but it goes well. I think that looks really nice on a cheese board, that as well, with the flecks on there. Oh yeah, you can smell the garlic there and the herbs coming through. Now, you can always, if you want to, put some Parmesan on. People think Parmesan's just for grating on pasta and stuff like that. What a waste. You know, is that my mum, when she was alive, is that she used to come and buy big chunks. She'd buy a chunk like that. I says, Mum, what are you going to do with that? I want to sit and watch telly and eat it with an apple. I love an apple and a piece of Parmesan. I'm like, oh my gosh. And yeah, so it's very adaptable for things like that. So you can just eat that just as a chunk as it is. And it's amazing. You'll say, gosh, when you taste it just by itself, how really nice it is. Just a few little tricks is that, I mean, it's great for great for grating, but also if you put it on in soups like that, or on top of salads if you want to. It's great just to get a potato peeler or a cheese slicer and just shave it. I think it looks great. We could even use a little bit of decoration, like just do it like that instead if you wanted. So people, it's done ready. There we are. So I think probably one more cheese will go nice with that. I think probably another one of my favourites, very popular, like the Comte, Manchego. This is sheep's milk from Spain. Really goes well, slightly salty. Great with a bit of quince paste as well, which is made from quince pears, traditionally Spanish as well. And that goes cut down nice, really nice that. Just the right temperature as well. It's quite hard cheese, not like Parmesan, but in between really. But that's just cut through there nicely, and just so much better like that. So we've got a few biscuits on there. Let's put a few grapes on there. There we are. But yes, I think that's sort of thing, a nice cheese board for you. A couple of options there, but at the end of the day, keep it simple and then just add on to what you want. So get the basics there. People come to my shop and say, oh, I'll have some charcoal, I'll have some, you know, this fancy stuff, fancy this. I said, no, just start the basics first, then work up to it, you know, then get 2 or 3 basic ones there. That keeps people happy. You always tend to munch on those quite a lot. And then to fill in a couple of extra ones, something a little bit different you've not tried before with it. And yeah, see how we go. But anyway, thank you very much. It's been great doing this demonstration. I hope you enjoyed it. If you ever want to come into Chester Town Centre, come and see us. Come and hear us shout, "Powder bag! Powder bag!"